Hello and welcome back to the Wisconsin Gravel Cyclist. This is your host Logan. Today we have for you the 2024 Iron Bull Red Granite Grinder in Wausau, Wisconsin. This year, unfortunately again, I did not get the start on this race. I was trying to get it going, but fortunately we have a little bit of footage from last year, and the start of the race, starting downtown at the 400 block, is roughly the same. But I'll go through what happened in the start of the first 5 or 6 miles so that way you can get an idea what happened. Start of this race, fortunately there was the Wausau Police Department that provided a great escort from the start of the race all the way to the base of Red Mountain, making the transition over the Wausau city streets nice and smooth. Thank you to the Wausau Police Department for that escort. Also, we had one of the local teams in the area, Stoic, set the tone, set the pace at right around 20-22 miles an hour, nice and early. For a lot of the group, that was a really nice pace to sit in the draft and have a good start with no one blasting off the front and making it really, really hard right away. It made for a great experience for most of the racers to get an idea of what it's like to start in a mass start gravel race. The first main pinch point of the Iron Bull Red Granite Grinder is one of the tunnels leading to Red Mountain. At that point in time, things started to pick up in pace. People wanted to get to that tunnel nice and fast, so that way they weren't behind anyone and could then start launching their attacks and things of that nature within the first few miles of the race. Upon getting through the tunnel and the boardwalk that leads to Rib Mountain, we then go through some of the side streets and side roads that lead over towards 9 Mile County Forest, at which time we hit our first gravel. When you hit your first gravel in the Iron Bull Red Granite Grinder, you're going through a road that leads to the school forest, the Wausau School Forest. At this point in time, we were with a group of several different riders right around our ability level that we'd be able to work with and try to kind of chase down as we progressed through the race. Luckily, at this point in time, I had settled in with one of my buddies, Brandon Downs, who really knows how to read a race well and pace you so that way you're not hopefully going to blow up too early. So Brandon and I, luckily, were together and able to work together to get some of the, mark some of the riders that we wanted to try to keep up with.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
Once you make it into 9 Mile County Forest, you then go into a short section of the school forest. Back into 9 Mile, where Brandon happened to snap this great picture. I don't know how he happened to do that. I'm pretty sure he risked life and limb trying to get that picture. Once you make it through 9 Mile County Forest, you get back out onto the classic red granite roads of the Iron Bull Red Granite Grinder. That's what we're on here. I'll leave you with some footage and some music as we catch some other riders and ride towards Marathon City.
Turning back, I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on, you're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate I attack. I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't stop, don't stop.
got the outlet loaded. Yeah. It tells me to climb. Yep. I don't really like that. No, I don't either. It's like on a twist now. Yep. I guess
In the distance here, you can now see the hill leading into Marathon. This is one of the bigger climbs in the Iron Bull Red Granite Grinder. At this point, we had caught a few additional riders, but we're just settling into our pace, making sure that we could still continue this pace to hit our goal and our goal time for today, which was really just to do it faster than last year. Given the conditions, which were dry and hard packed, a little bit loose in spots, should have been very, very doable. So we continue to just push hard and ride into Marathon. Once we got to Marathon, we then headed towards the corn maze of the Iron Bull Red Granite Grinder. We then linked up with this gal who traded turns with us the rest of the ride all the way back down to Wausau. It was nice to have one additional person to draft with and help work and keep our pace high. Once we made it through the corn maze, we then headed back south towards Wausau. Here we are going down the hill by Brokaw. This is one of the steepest downhills and fastest downhills that we have in the Iron Bull Red Granite Grinder. It is a screaming fast, reaching close to 40 miles an hour at points in time. This hill leads us right down into the final and huge climb that is Brokaw Hill. I shouldn't say huge. It's just steep at points in time, 8 to 9%, but it's only, a 10-minute climb or so, or less, depending on how you're feeling on the day. We finished our descent down Highway W into the base of Brokaw Hill. We then started our grind with the lactic acid in our legs, the final big climb of the Iron Bull Red Granite Grinder. We still had Brandon, myself, and the one other gal that was with us. So at this point in time, we just started our climb up to the top of the Brokaw Hill.
Yep. Thank you, you too. Thank you. You alright, Brandon?
Yeah. Like tendon
Yeah.
beneath the hip from the quad.
Sure.
It's like not that hard of a climb, but when you've been suffering since the gun,
Yeah.
it's not real fun.
We finished our climb up Brokaw Hill. We then descended back down towards the city of Wausau and the 400 block where the race starts and ends. Overall, the Iron Bowl Red Granite Grinder was a great race this year. There were some good changes with the school forest, where they took out some technical bits that made it much more of a gravel/road race than it would have been more of just a mixed terrain race if they would have left that in. Overall, we had a great experience, and I'll leave you with a few pictures and comments on those pictures. First, I'd like to give a big shout out to my buddy Jeff Waldman, who finished 16th overall. It's a huge comeback for Jeff considering he broke his collarbone early in the year. Then myself here. I finished 20 minutes faster than last year, so to me, that's a great result. Thanks to Brandon Downs for riding with me the whole ride. It was great to have a companion out there. And then to our buddy Doug Campbell, who finished first overall in the single speed. And last but not least, my family. My mother and father-in-law, thank you for coming by and watching. And to my daughter Hazel and wife Megan, thanks for your support this year. Looking forward to the Iron Bowl Red Granite Grinder in 2025.